A very good morning to everybody present here. I would firstly like to thank the association, federation, to have given me this opportunity to be present among all of you. I know you have all had a very long session of learning so many new things and putting things into perspective. Today I would like to talk a little bit about how we are using technology to help our children. And the topic at hand is online speech therapy, which is formally called as Telepractice. And how I would just like to basically introduce you to this new concept of Telepractice so that you can yourself see if it works for your family and also spread the word around. My name is Pratiksha Gupta and I am the founder of One Special Place, which is India's first organization in the private sector which is working with online speech therapy. We have developed a portal for families across the globe, but we are focusing majorly on helping people in India so that we can provide our services to everybody. Quickly, the term at hand is telepractice, which is a formal term for online speech therapy. We'll go through these things in a very quick way. I don't want to take a lot of time, and I want to make this presentation as meaningful and as possible as I can. Has anybody done any online sessions here before? Anybody? Have you done any online therapy? Online consultation? So it will be very basic then. Okay. The telepractice or online speech therapy is basically using technology and the internet to reach out to people who otherwise would not be able to get services like speech therapy, occupational therapy, special education, etc. We all know that the internet is on a verge and we are actually living technology every day. So hence, telepractice came into being. It's not a new thing. It has been there for many, many years. I'd like to quickly talk about the problem that we are having in India. So we have so many children who are born with Down syndrome every year. It's an alarming figure. And we are a populous country with millions of people who reside in areas where there are no professionals or where there is no access to therapy or access to doctors and good quality intervention. And surprisingly also, there's another figure on the screen as you can see. There are only 3,000 registered therapists in the country. So what are we really looking at? There are millions of children and individuals who need help, but only thousands and maybe only a few hundreds of therapists who can help. And so there's a huge gap of demand and supply. Well, telepractice or online therapy was started in USA in long back, actually in 2005. They came up with a very formal method. The ASHA, as you can see, is the American Speech and Hearing Association, and they gave it a definition. There are various terms that one can hear when you talk about online speech therapy: telespeech, telespeech therapy, speech teletherapy, telepractice, telerehabilitation. I also am doing my doctoral in telerehab from South Africa these days. And the research that is going around the world to help children and even adults with speech and language difficulties using the online method is amazing. It's just revolutionary. It was started way back in 1970s. That's the magazine cover of the American Speech and Hearing Association. And as you can see, they are displaying how telehealth is a revolution and how people with speech and language disorders and conditions can get help using the internet. And that's the lady who started it all, Dr. Gwyneth. And here she's doing some speech language testing with an adult patient. That's in 1970s. And then technology evolved, and that's one of the latest magazine covers from the ASHA. And this is telepractice poised to grow. We all know that technology is definitely evolving, and how in 1950s, as you can see, the storage was so big. And then there's a beautiful evolution picture I got. So how it was big, and then it turned into floppies, and then into disks and a pen drive, and now everything is in the cloud. So we need to evolve. That's the whole idea behind my presentation. We need to accept and embrace the changes that are coming about. And we all know this is Mr. Internet, who can really help us in connecting with the world. That's just a small picture from the Times of India I got. The increasing trend of internet users in India, it's touching 500 million last year, it crossed that. That's a very big number of people. Well, so technology and healthcare and education can all be combined because we all have a smartphone, we all have laptops or tablets, and we have internet. Because of the increased demand of children who are born with such problems every year, using the technology that is available, we can definitely provide solutions anytime, anywhere, and on demand. So most of the therapist friends that I actually have been trained in the UK for a while. I was also working in London. And when I returned, I was based out of Delhi NCR, and I was with the Apollo Hospital group. But I had to move out because of domestic reasons to another city. And then that's when I realized that there are so many patients and people who still wanted services. Even in a city like Noida, people did not have sufficient good therapists, and I kept getting calls about returning back to Noida to serve them, and that's what led me to start an online organization where I thought I could help more and more people. We all know that everybody wants to settle in an urban area, but India is not just Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, and Chandigarh. They are thousands of cities where children and individuals with Down syndrome live, and it's important that we use the technology to reach them. So telepractice is definitely poised to grow. A therapist sitting in Chandigarh can help so many other families all across the country, and using digital and technology tools, we can do that and add value to so many lives. So there are many benefits for telepractice. So you can serve, if a child or a family is in a remote area. I'm also quoting a few research studies because it's not something that came out of a whim, oh, let's do something online. It's a very researched science, lots of research going on, and lots of evidence behind it all. So you can reach remote areas, you can overcome barriers of shortage of professionals, it cuts travel time. In big cities, most of the patients that we are seeing, parents are working, and the child needs therapy, he needs to be driven from one place to the other. And therapy, we all know, is a very long-term process. It's not like you go for a couple of weeks and then you are done. It's an ongoing thing which the child needs for maybe a few years. So definitely it cuts travel time, and it's more cost effective because you can take therapy from the convenience of your home or your office, using the internet, of course. And there are many families and patients who are homebound, who cannot travel. They may be on the wheelchair, or they have motor difficulties, and they can't really be taken to a therapy center. So telepractice or online therapy helps a lot for even the homebound patients. And obviously, if a child is at home and taking all the therapies, it's a lot more fun, and it has shown great benefits even in their in the success of telepractice. Okay. Success and outcomes, it's highly effective. It is similar to traditional therapy. You go to a center and the therapist engages you in an in a regular brick and mortar session where you're sitting and the therapist deals. The outcomes are pretty similar. They are great success for a lot of disorders and a lot of speech language conditions that have been noted. There are various settings in which online therapy can be done, from home, from hospitals, from schools, universities, office. On vacation, I had a client who was on vacation and they still continued to take online sessions. Age is no bar. If I have seen the youngest child that I have seen in an online session is a 9-month-old Down syndrome baby. I was coaching and training the parents and counseling, and we had a complete plan for the child. So their age is no bar. And there are various conditions. Down syndrome is definitely one of them, and many other speech language conditions where telepractice or online speech therapy can be useful. There are different methods in which telepractice can be done. First is definitely like you just do an online live session, just like a video conferencing session. The other is like exchanging email programs and sending your videos to the therapist. That's the asynchronous method. And the third is the hybrid method, where you go to a big center in maybe Chandigarh, PGI, you get all the evaluations done, but you reside in some other part of the country. So you go back with a home plan and you continue doing the online sessions. 6 months later, you come back to PGI and get the assessments and reviews done. So that's the hybrid model. So where, if you are interested in, utilizing the online portal or the telepractice method, you would need a computer, a web camera, some speakers, and also headphones, a software on which the telepractice would happen, and a good internet speed. These are the tools that you as a family will need to sign up for an online session. This is my favorite part because this covers a lot, very, very important policies which are important for parents as well as clinicians like us. So there's an organization called as the RCI, which is the Rehabilitation Council of India. Then there is the Master Institute called the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, which is AYUSH. They have published a code of ethics for telepractice. But yes, we are still a growing country. Online, like among 50, 60 odd people sitting here, no one has ever done an online consultation. So the awareness is not much. People accept it a little later because you feel, oh, I don't know how online session would happen, whether it will work, it won't work.